Hello. Well, you knew this was coming. The exercise bit. Yes, any good program that involves weight loss, getting healthy, not only will it involve your diet, but it definitely involves increase of your activity levels. All right. And of course, the benefits of exercise are really, really well known. You can reduce stress, boost happy chemicals, improve your self confidence. It can alleviate anxiety. It can boost your brain power, your memory, increase relaxation. You can get more done. You can tap into your creativity because you're focused on doing something else, and your mind just wanders, and you can come up with, you might be stuck on a problem. You go and exercise or something like that, and because you're focused on the exercise, your mind's still churning away on the problem, and you can come up with incredible solutions. I always find that I'm incredibly creative when I'm in the gym because I'm in such a relaxed space. It's my happy space, and my mind just flows. And yes, that's where I get some really good ideas for things. You can inspire others with my weight loss and my journey. I inspire people. Of course, weight loss plays into that. It's great for your muscles and bones, and this is something that's very dear to me. I don't eat dairy. Of course, we all know how, in theory, how good dairy is for your muscles and bones. Yet my muscles and bones I'm in the top 0.1% of bone strength for my age. And osteoporosis, which is particularly women over 40 are prone to, it's incredibly important to do some weight-bearing exercise to boost the strength of your muscles and bones. So, like I say, particularly for women as you get older, and this is why older people get frowns, because they don't do weight-bearing exercise. Now, I watched my grandmother basically crumble from within through osteoporosis. My mother's the same build. I'm the same build as my mother. It runs in the female line. So I will always now do some sort of weight-bearing exercise because I do not want to go the same way as my grandmother did. It was desperately sad to watch. Okay. Of course, you can boost your energy levels. I mean, I have days when I just can't be bothered to drag my ass out of bed. We all get that. But I do it. I get to the gym, and it doesn't matter how crappy the workout is that I do. When I've done it, I feel a ton better. It wakes me up. It gets me going. I'm ready for the day because I've done that. I feel good because I've done something positive for the day. So it doesn't matter, like I say, I've said this before, it doesn't matter what the rest of the day, the whole rest of the day can go to hell. I've done the exercise and I feel good about that. Okay. Of course, it can reduce your risk of chronic diseases. I've given you tons and tons of statistics showing you this. It can help with your sleep, and it manages depression. And this is exactly how I pulled myself out of depression. When I got into depression, I was directionless with my health and fitness. I didn't have a health and fitness goal. So I was Googling around trying to find workouts and stuff. And it all became very overwhelming because I was in a very overwhelmed state with my whole life. Adding sort of trying to figure out what to do exercise wise also increased the overwhelm. So this is why I hired a personal trainer. And within a week or so, I had direction because he'd given me a program. I had direction and I had somebody to tell me what to do, so I didn't have to think. And I was having so much fun that I couldn't wait to get to the gym every day. It became my happy space. And that little 1 hour a day, I guess, relaxation and freedom from the stress and the noise and the mess of my life, it helped me sort things out, and within a couple of months I turned my life around. I pulled myself out of depression through exercise. So yes, I can definitely vouch for that one. Improves your sex life, you can get out of doors, and of course you can connect with like-minded people. Every sort of exercise group you get into, or sport or whatever, it all has a community associated with it. You'll find like-minded people to connect with and have fun with. Now, that's all the positive stuff. There are some negatives of exercise, of course. You might end up in pain. You might end up with exercise-related injuries. And again, I'm an absolute classic case of this. For years and years, before I got into the bodybuilding, actually, I had elbow tendon issues. I constantly had torn shoulder issues. I've had double shoulder surgery because they were both ruined, not through the bodybuilding, but through gymnastics and swimming and tennis and squash and badminton for years and years and years. So I had all of these exercise-related injuries, heart problems. It's actually a known fact that super ultra endurance athletes can end up with heart problems. Olympic rowers, because their heart works so hard when they're rowing, when they stop rowing, they actually have to deload their heart, if you like. They have to down train their heart back to a normal level over the space of years, because their heart has expanded so much through the amount of exercise they do. I didn't realise that something called exercise bulimia existed, but apparently it's a syndrome. It's a recognised syndrome now, where people bulimics who, once they've binged, instead of purging, they essentially purge through exercise. So they go on a massive exercise binge to overcompensate for the eating binge. So there's actually a syndrome called exercise bulimia now, overtraining. When people sort of they get into something, they get so focused on it that everything else around them ceases to exist. Of course, that's a social impact too. Everything around them ceases to exist except this training. You might set yourself some massive lofty goals and then not meet them. So you could be disappointed. And of course your appetite changes. And, because I've exercised for such a long time now, my appetite is at a particular level, and that's where I expect to eat. So when I stop training, I do have to be very, very aware of what I'm eating, because again, I'm a reduced obese person, and we know what that does to your metabolism. I am actually quite prone to putting on weight still. So I do have to be very careful with my appetite in phases when I'm not exercising. And then, of course, even when you do exercise, there's a number of excuses. A lot of us, we all have excuses. Like, I don't have time. So my question to you is, if you don't have time, what else are you doing? Do you have time to watch the television? Do you have time to watch shows? Where are you spending time? Do you have time to spend on social media? We spend time on things that we value. So if you don't have time for exercise, the chances are you don't actually value it. Okay, so until you can learn to value it, you probably won't make time for it. I'm too tired is another one. But here's the thing, exercising actually gives you energy. So if you're too tired, go and do some exercise. You'll get some energy from it. I'm too busy is another one. Again, if it's important to you, you will make time for it. I'm too old. Well, I'm too old. I was 42 before I started getting into bodybuilding. I was 45 when I won 11 world titles. I'm 48 now, and I've won another 5 professional world titles. You're never too old. You just have to start. Anything's better than nothing. You're never too old. I hate going alone. Find a group class. Find something, grab a friend, get an exercise buddy. Find somebody who'll come along with you. I don't get a break from the kids. Make time and go to the gym so you do get a break from the kids. Another one is my kids get in the way. Well, it doesn't sound very exciting, but maybe you could get up a little bit early before the kids, or involve the kids. What's better than involving the kids? Do something fun with the kids. Exercise is boring. Well, try something else. You don't have to go to the gym. No, if you want to go to the gym, great. If you don't like going to the gym, don't go to the gym. Find something else that interests you and explore things. Try things out. If you don't like it, try something else. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't like to move. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean you don't like to get sweaty? Well, try something more gentle, maybe yoga, for example. I've tried before. Well, what have you tried before? Maybe that's not the exercise for you, or maybe you set a goal that was too big for you. Could you try it again and set a smaller goal, for example? My back hurts. Well, actually, exercising can improve your back because it can build the muscles that support your back. I'm too fat. Well, exercise will help you with that. We all know that exercise can help with weight loss, and you're not too fat. I was 30 kilos overweight when I started exercising. Okay, but at no point did I tell myself I was too fat. I just got on and did it. I'm thin already. Well, that also doesn't fly. You could be what's known as skinny fat. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean just because you're thin that you're healthy. I hate the gym. Well, try something else. Have you tried horse riding or walking or surfing or yoga or Pilates, swimming, football, touch rugby? There's 100 things you could try. You don't necessarily have to go to the gym. And that also ties into I can't afford the gym. Again, you don't have to go to the gym. Try getting outside in the park and doing some body weight exercises, or just walking around a lake or in a park, or whatever it is. Just go for a walk after lunch. You don't have to go to the gym. Okay, any sort of activity, it builds up. I never see any results. My question to you is: are you exercising regularly enough? Are you being consistent? How's your diet? Do you have your diet in order? Or are you doing some exercise and then not paying attention to your diet so it cancels itself out? Diet and exercise work together, okay? And you need consistency over a longer period of time. I'm not motivated. Well, motivation comes from within. You've got, again, if exercise isn't something that you value, then you won't find the time and you won't find the motivation for it. So you need to find something within that does motivate you. So why do we exercise? Well, most people exercise to get healthy or maintain health, or they want to get into shape, so lose weight, tone up, that sort of stuff. This is a global survey, by the way. Ideal fitness experiences: fun, calm, relaxing, convenient, and challenging. I'm sure we'll all agree with that. So what activities are we doing globally? Fitness classes are popular, group training indoors, fitness classes to music indoors, yoga is very popular, Pilates and dance, working out with a PT. It's actually quite small, as it turns out. Free weights, weight machines, cardios, and boxing. This was obviously a gym survey, particularly by the looks of it. So what are we doing in Australia, though? Commonwealth Games sports. Well, there's about 40 of those. That's a bit broad and vague. Swimming, always a popular one. Jogging, of course, yes, you see so many people jogging. Cycling and mountain biking, golf and tennis. Very, very common. I'm surprised that AFL isn't there, or soccer or rugby. But so how do you get started then? Well, first of all, think of something that you enjoy. Please just don't dive into running. A lot of people, when they get started into exercise, think that means running. It doesn't. And I actually encourage, seems a bit strange, but I actually encourage you not to start out with running unless it's something you've done before and you're familiar with it, because it's one of the highest impact sports going around on your hips and your knee joints. So if you want to avoid exercise-related injury, remember that was one of the downsides, and pain, then I suggest you start out by doing something probably a little bit more gentle to build up a base of fitness before you move into something like running. Although it's cheap and it's easy to do, most people don't have the body mechanics or the core strength or the physiology to actually dive straight into running from doing nothing at all. So I actually discourage you getting into running. Start with walking. Once you can, if at the moment, for example, if you walk up a flight of stairs and you're out of breath, you need to build that up first before you can get into something like running. So start with walking. I've said this a number of times. Just go for a 15-minute walk after lunch around the block at work, or if you've got a park, walk around the park. Before the kids get up in the morning, just go for a walk around the block. Whatever it is, and start slowly, but make sure you get into the habit. Consistency is the key, remember. Get into the habit. Pick a time of the day that works for you. Make it your time, and whatever the exercise is, do that in your time, okay? Like I say, build it up gently and get an exercise buddy. This will give you accountability. Remember that study we looked into where the people who wrote down their goals and then handed in a weekly report to their exercise buddy achieved the most? Same thing here with exercise. If you've got somebody you're accountable to, you're more likely to stick to it. Okay? Involve the whole family if you can. I mean, if you're getting fit, get the whole family fit. It'll benefit all of you, and use whatever is available to you. Use your environment. Like I say, parks are great. Just walk around the block. If you've got flights of stairs, if your office fire stairs are fantastic. That's exactly how I trained for my Kilimanjaro climb. I used the office fire stairs. There were 36 floors of them, so I went up and down them 4 times with a weighted jacket. Brilliant. Stairs are brilliant for getting fit. If you live in a tower block, you'll have some fire stairs. See if you can get out onto your fire stairs. You'll always be able to get out at the bottom, even if you can't get out on your floor. But, go to the bottom of your office block, your tower block, fire stairs, walk up and down a couple of stairs and get out on the street and come back in. Again, that's something that I used to live in an apartment building, and that's what I did as well. Get those stretchy TheraBands and start doing body weight exercises. You can see you'll be able to find programs on the internet, or even just doing body weight exercise. Start with like little challenges, like 10 squats and 10 push-ups a day. Then do that for a week. Then go up to 15 squats and 15 push-ups a day for another week. Go up to 20, go up to 30. Challenge you. Get up to 100 of each. By the time you can do 100 push-ups and 100 squats straight off the bat, you can guarantee that's going to have improved your fitness. So these are all little things that you can do just to build it into your daily routine. And like I said, it doesn't have to take a long time. and it doesn't have to involve the gym, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. I think I've given you some ideas on how to do this. So then I thought, well, let's just have a look at what's going around at the moment. What are the top fitness trends for this year? There's actually a very wide spread. There's some kind of weird ones in there as well. I mean, you've got your mix of your high intensity, full on stuff here, your group training, your bodyweight training, strength training, and then you've got your much more gentle, sort of holistic stuff. And I actually recommend a blend of both. I do yoga, I do Bikram. I actually quite like Bikram except for the heat, so I try and find one that's slightly less hot. So I do a hot yoga, but not as hot as Bikram. Yoga, of course, is great for your flexibility and your core strength, which if you do have a bad back, it's going to be absolutely brilliant for. And that sort of ties into the hot heated fitness classes as well. Now, this augmented reality was an interesting one. Some spin studios are starting to bring in virtual reality headsets. And I think this is going to become increasingly popular, actually. Mindful movement and breath work. Well, this, of course, ties into being aware of your muscles and how you move and how you can move and tie your breathing in together. It's kind of sort of meditative. So it'll be very, very relaxing, de-stressing. So this could be a really good thing to watch out for. This animal flow one kind of was a little bit weird. It's basically you're sort of crawling around the floor on all fours, moving like different sorts of animals. It sounds a bit weird, but the muscle control you have to do that will actually make you incredibly strong. Team-based workouts, yes. Pole dancing, yes. Groove is another kind of dance-based one. Barre fusion, this is a kind of ballet aerobics fusion one. Wave shake, this is based on surfing. Indoor rowing, increasingly popular. This is a fantastic exercise. It's a great overall body workout. In fact, if you wanted to do an overall body workout, I'd recommend getting into rowing rather than running because there's no impact on your joints. Now, Zumba step, well, this one just made me laugh. I was always hopeless at step anyway, and I've never tried Zumba because it just looks fiercely complicated. So the combination of the two, just right there, I'm like, nah, not something for me, I don't think. So with all of that being said, the key takeaways are do something, do anything, just get more active.